guys, welcome back to the channel if you have been here before, or welcome into the channel if this is your first time here. Welcome in, very good to see you. Let's get right into this. I'm gonna be doing a 6-card spread, and I decided to get just an overall glimpse of the beginning of November for you. Turn this up a little bit, just like the start of November, see what's going on. Gonna be looking at that. The 6-card spread is with the Hermetic Tarot. Just the bottom. Knight of Wands. Interesting. Gotta give a big thanks to my sister for the cam. Was having fun with the last reading. I know the resolution was not the best, but you know, having fun, doing what you gotta do. And then actually one from the Prism Oracle. At the bottom is balance, and that's interesting because I was kind of thinking of the Knight of Wands being kind of Sagittarius. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. On the iPhone you couldn't hear that, but on the mic it's probably awful. Knight of Wands being like man meets animal, and the balance. So I think that kind of fits pretty dope. It kind of fits pretty well, you know. Think centaur. One moment. Oh, we're back. Balance, centaur. Do you know what I mean? The man meets animal, something like that. There's been a lot of animal talk, especially in the last reading, where it's like maybe animals are important, or could be a lot more connected, especially with that whole centaur thing. So you could feel a lot more connected to animals at this current moment. But let's get into it and see what November is starting off like. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are feeling okay. The animal thing is interesting to come up so much because I actually have a little new animal best friend. One of these, a ton of stray cats in my area, but they always run and hide. All right, gonna pull one of the Prism Oracle to start off to get the general energy before we look at the spread. I like this deck. It has a lot of like feelings and emotions, so it's like, oh, whoa, and there are 2 C words too. I guess we'll take them both. What's underneath? Movement. That's nice. So things I'm having a hard time figuring out. Cameras. I've been having that trouble all day. But movement, something's really getting started, something's picking up. And there's another green card, like that balance. Look what you got. Confidence, creativity. And those both being C words makes me think, because C is a number 3, like the Empress. So it makes me think birthing, creation. And this black makes me feel like it started internal in a space of alone, isolation, and this purple makes me feel like a leap of, not leap of faith. It's a light bulb, so it all, and it's purple, so it feels spiritual. So it almost feels like going into November, and I like that because it's almost, this is where Scorpio season. So this is a very Scorpio card to me. 100%. The sunglasses. You have like, do you see it? I can't figure out cameras. It feels Scorpio, but also at the same time, the sunglasses. So maybe, and then the look at that, the light is pretty bright. So very cliche to sound, I'm sorry to say it, but it definitely feels like having confidence because your future seems pretty bright. Having to put on something to even protect yourself from how bright. For some reason now it's giving me like 2 of Pentacles, so having to like juggle a lot. But for some reason it's giving you confidence. I think it's like, could be a creative solution to something, but could also be like I don't know. This is like a definitely a birth, a creation of something. The black and purple also makes it feel very mysterious. So maybe the sunglasses, it could be you shading yourself and like, I don't want to say being shady. Not at all. That's not what it feels like. But like that protecting, like definitely you have something that you're protecting, that you're working on. It feels, and it makes you feel confident. But you have to have a certain air of mystery around it, possibly. It's kind of making me think of like a secret pregnancy now. Not that there is one. There could be one. Never know. Never know. Let's get into the spread. What's the bottom still? The Nine of Wands is still there. I know this deck is pretty strange if this is your first time here, but it's got a lot of information, and I like it. So let's see. I'm gonna pull today. Starting off, the sixth card is, I didn't explain, it's 3 on the top. We're the root of the situation, where we're coming from. And sort of a bit of the present, so like it's a like kind of like past and leaking in the present, and then the bottom 3 are where we're going forward. Still a bit of the present still, and it reads a bunch of different ways. So starting off with the Queen of Pentacles coming out. That's in the root of the situation, so I like it. With the confidence too, it feels like self-worth, feels like grounding. Now the Queen of Pentacles, again, that's that internal with the black that I was feeling with like this isn't like trying to prove to anyone that you're confident. This is like trying to understand to yourself why you should be confident with yourself. It's understanding, it's processing information. It's like learning yourself. So maybe there's been a lot of learning. I don't know why I'm burping so much. Oh my gosh, this happens in some readings. And I'm like, no. The Chariot. I like that. This is a deck that's normally black and white, but I put some stickers on like the major arcana, I think I did. Yeah, because I wanted to throw some more info in there if I could. So the Chariot, that's 7. I don't know. The Queen of Pentacles has a Chariot here. It's more of a throne. Let's see. Where else are we coming from? Ooh, the 5 of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. The 5s can be all about like sort of standing on your own. It can be very lonely. But the 5 of Wands can be conflict, because the 5 of Wands, the wands with the action and the soul and like the passion. It's almost like everyone's like, it's like that's every man for himself kind of a card. And with Saturn here and Leo, it's about, oh, that's not Leo, sorry. That might be South Node. Saturn South Node. Definitely feels like working out of a past, even working a lot out of a past version of yourself. It almost feels like with the Queen of Pentacles, even I don't know why, but it feels like shedding skin, but like I don't know why. But the 5 of Wands here, coming from a lot of conflict, coming from with the Queen of Pentacles, maybe conflict in relation to how you take care of yourself. Maybe not knowing how to stand on your own, because there's just so much in your immediate environment. I'm seeing Saturn still, so like it feels like, and I'm thinking a lot of Saturn recently as like a journey, because there's like a lot of lessons, and you can go over the same ones. You can go over so many different types of lessons. The 5 of Wands, it's possible, and with the Queen of Pentacles for sure, it's possible you've had a lot of lessons where you've had to stand on your own, and it may have felt probably confusing, but in the end it sort of like gave you that the self-confidence. Still a lot of conflict though, and it's important to note that it's like you stood on your own a bunch. And the South Node, yeah, it feels like in another life. So like this is definitely the past, because South Node is like where you've come from, right? But where you're moving forward is somewhere way different, because with the Queen of Pentacles coming out, you have, and the confidence, you definitely like, there's no one in between you and you, which is good, which is pretty good. And what's last? Where are we coming from? The High Priestess. Damn, that is powerful in the spot. Look at that number there, the 2. So right, 2. 2s can be numbers of relationships with other people, right? But at the same time, before you have a relationship with another person, you have to, maybe not have to, but it would probably be very beneficial if you had a good relationship with yourself. That's why the High Priestess is so powerful, because it's like when you have a relationship with yourself, you realize it's not just you and like just your vessel, your body. It goes somewhat beyond that. Like there's a universal like bond that you have that gives you your inner knowing, you know. And your inner knowing is so powerful because like, I can't explain it, but I remember hearing a lot that when you're being developed in the womb or whatnot, your heart is created first, and then your brain comes along a little along the way. So it's interesting. Your heart is sort of the first thing that sort of started working, and I feel like that's like, you know, like your inner knowing, your heart, your emotions see a lot more. It can't really probably communicate it as well as your brain can talk to you, but like if you listen to your heart, you know, that's sort of a good first step. Especially with the 5 of Wands, or dang, the 5 of Wands is usually, and I like the 5 of Wands too. Like I really do like it because like I think of Mac Miller and I think of ladders, because the 5 of Wands, you can think of like people trying to build a ladder out of their own like special type of like stick, and it's like not working because they're not like listening to each other. They're all listening to their own personal passions, which they should be, but at the same time, it doesn't work in the group. So it's about like taking a step back from all the conflict to really get back to yourself. And once you do that, it's a bit easier to like reflect back for other people, and you know, like be a functioning person in a relationship in a sense, you know, because you learn to function with yourself first. I feel like if you don't get that experience, you either end up not knowing, or you end up having conflict in relationships, you know. Which is natural because we're all mirrors. So conflict in relationships is just showing us conflicts within ourselves. So it's not saying that you'll always have conflict with other people if you have conflict with yourself, but the better you know yourself, the easier it is to navigate some of these things. What's at the bottom? The Page of Cups. Yeah, definitely. You see, like, it's like learning, which is good. Where are we going for it? Where are we going to? Let's see. The Fool. I do like. It's like Aquarius and Aries energy under the Queen of Pentacles. It's interesting. I always find that interesting, because they feel like kind of opposite energy. Whereas like the Queen of Pentacles is stable within the place that they are, the Fool is jumping right off of a new mountain every 5 minutes, you know? There's something about change, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles would probably be not opposed to change, just not used to it, right? Very steadfast, very concrete, consistent. So maybe you've come from a place where you're consistent, maybe consistently in conflict, consistently with the High Priestess, maybe feeling like you have to power through on your own. You have, and utilize your own wisdom, which can go awry, but can also be very beneficial, you know, because it builds self-confidence. Just too much of it can put you in isolation and conflict, you know? Leave you spinning in circles trying to figure out the lesson, when the key to it is just sort of just connecting back with other people when you feel like you can. My screen go off. No, don't do that. Okay. The Fool's nice. It's like taking a leap of faith. As we kind of started off saying with the purple here, but that's creativity too. And with Aquarius and Aries there, it's like innovation meets action. So I can see that. I can see how the Fool makes sense with those two. Because it's like you're choosing an innovative idea and you're actually putting some action into it. It's not just like in the air. I cannot get this camera. I'm sorry. It's not just in the air. You're doing something with it. Right, the fire there. See, fire does need oxygen to breathe, though. So right, as I'm saying, this action you're taking does need thought behind it. Does need like a process, like a, well, not just that, but like with air. Maybe like your own personal thoughts. It's got to be your own like heat. The Ace of Wands is still at the bottom. I just shuffled. So it's like, maybe it's a passion you have. I don't know. That's interesting. That feeling I can't quite touch, but I'm gonna keep it going forward. The Four of Pentacles under the Five of Wands. Moving forward with the Fool. Earthly power. I like it's stability. Under the Five of Wands, it's It almost feels like, it almost, because of the four of Pentacles in this deck always makes me feel like a car that sort of like, it's like someone just discovered how to build a car, and so it's like an amazing and innovative sort of a thing. And I feel like it stabilizes you in a sense, and also like creates movement, like we saw earlier. Is it still there? Yes, she is. Whatever it is, whatever action is you're taking, whatever it is that you're planning, because I see Virgo here too, or that's Capricorn. I'm sorry. So effort, something you put effort into. Ace of Wands again. Oh my God, a lot of effort. Could be a bit sexual as well. Like this could make you. It could get you going in a sense where it gets your engines going. Something that really is something that you're really passionate about. And the Ace of Wands is nice because you have the 5 there. So it's like whatever you're doing is creating a 6 of Wands energy, but it's not coming out in the environment. It's important to you. It's not important for the environment. It's important for you. I think that's the most important part. I do like, because it was even like the 5 of Wands and then the 4 of Pentacles underneath is like you're dropping one thing. Maybe you're dropping something. Let's see, where are we going forward? What's the last part of this right here? Oh, do they both match each other? They do. Okay, so that's interesting underneath. Are they both? Wow. So, just dropping. You see how I dropped that? That's something's definitely being dropped. But you see, okay. So 9 of Wands, maybe a struggle, but you're continuing to fight, right? But you see the King and the Queen were sticking out. I don't think they're next to each other, are they? Something's in between. Strength, of course. Strength is in between. Just interesting, because that's an 8 too, and this is 8 of Swords. There's a lot of 8. And 8 is work, effort. It's continuous, it's infinite. So something about your, and you see the King and Queen of Cups, it's about the heart being infinite, like I was just saying. Like the heart has always been there, sort of like the High Priestess, like you've always had this part of you, right? I don't know if you've always shown it the love that it's needed, and that's not your fault. With the 5 of Wands here, it definitely could have been the environment, and just maybe I feel a lot of ego. And with the foolish man card, it's like your ideas are innovative and possibly could seem childish. And if not childish, just coming, I don't know. Like you're very rooted in something you've always been. So it could feel childish. I don't understand. But the 8 of Wands, there's so many 8s under the High Priestess. That's cool. It's a 10. So a completion for sure. It's interesting to see the High Priestess being the one to move. But I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Something is pretty reflective about this with the 2 here and like the 4 of Wands that are crossing each other to make 8. Okay. Yeah, the 4 of Pentacles, it's like you found the way to build the car. Something about like you found a way to get movement out of a situation that had you struggling to be yourself. Like you really always had to fight to climb someone else's ladder and ask them if this was successful. And it's like, nah. You can build your own ladder and not have to ask anyone's opinion. It's okay to take a journey alone to figure that out. If you don't take that journey alone, it could be filled with strife trying to fight these other wands instead of just going your own way for a few seconds, you know? But it feels like whatever you did got you like stable, right? And it's like the 8 of Wands I always remember because I'm always ready to move. But the 8 of Wands is always, to me, I've learned to be a sort of sit and listen to yourself. That's why the wands are there, the fire, the spirit. Sort of listen to like your gut, what you feel. And not even just like emotionally feel, but like what your body feels, what you feel in your bones, what, you know, that stuff, that root, what's always been there. Before you make like a decision, before you make a movement. Because, you know, yes, I see you got the vehicle, right? I see you've built that for yourself. But the fire here feels like sort of the gasoline in a sense. So it's like, again, yeah, that's like liquid meets fire. That's water and fire. That's like feeling. It's about trusting your feelings with the High Priestess. Well, not 100%. It's about trusting your feelings, but I think at the same time you have to make some sort of a movement. And I think that's the key out of that conflict, that strife. For sure. What are those? Remember that? What are those? Sorry. I don't know if you even remember that. But you see those? Why are those 4 pentacles? Someone tell me. Because we got them right here. But it's like these seems like these are almost in a garden. In a bit. Like, so you're like, you've been preparing it. But with this, it's like the presentation, the movement, the action, the expression of like what you've learned, what you've experienced, these feelings possibly in a very creative way and in a very confident way is making you look good. November is making you look real good. I love that. Any signs I see: Queen of Pentacles, I see Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I'm gonna say Leo with that. I see Pisces, Aries, Aquarius. Again, the Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, a lot of Earth, and then Sagittarius for sure. Any of those signs, possibly. I don't know. I never really do that, but I mean that could be important for anyone watching this one. So I don't know. I can ask for advice from Lenormand if that's probably helpful. Real quick, any advice from Lenormand to listening to yourself, your feelings, your guts? What's the best advice? The Lily is the King of Swords. Interesting. 30. It's about creating something long term. It feels like if there's something that you want to do long term, if there's something. These also feel very preserved, so it's about preserving something. King of Swords here. Alright, the King of Swords was underneath the key in the cage. Yep, so 100%. For some reason, and I don't know the reason yet, the King of Swords is your key out of this, out of the loop. And I'm thinking history for sure, because King of Swords can rule history because of the mind, and the king is like one of the oldest in the court, so it's been through the experience. It knows, remembers, can tell you, like a judge, you know. The Lily's here. Something about growth. And the 30, like birth. Not just birth, but growth, yeah. Something about growth. Growing, correct, 100%. Growing continuously with the 8. Continuously growing. But like I said, preserving, there's still about that white. There's still about something about preserving something very fresh or young at heart about you. Keep staring at that glass pane too. So for some reason, it's like light, because obviously there's color. And it's light. I'm dropping cards. And it's shapes. And I'm saying all those things, so I'm realizing they're like very fundamental things. Light, color, shapes. So it could be about taking it back to a very fundamental step. Taking it back to like a very like ground level sort of, but keeping with the Aquarius energy of that, and almost Libra too, but keeping with Aquarius for sure, keeping the knowledge of history. The Fool is the card I dropped, but I remember the saying, it's something about like, you know, the regular fool can start a journey with no, just jumping off the cliff, no knowledge, but a wise fool, in a sense, you know, has the knowledge, but still will have fun and jump off the cliff, just with maybe more tools, more precautions, unless you want to repeat the same history and keep tumbling down the cliff. You'll get to your end of your journey, but you'll probably keep tumbling down the cliff every time you jump. But preservation is important, but growing is important. It's a balance. But the king is here, so it's about protecting. It's very important to protect that. That's the most important part. Growing is important, but I think you're going to continue to grow if you continue to preserve, you know. Very beautiful. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, there's confidence. That's pretty cool too. Look at that. They're all like purple and blackish. I like that. So it feels sort of like, I don't know. I could say Halloween for sure because of that, but I don't know. It's definitely Libra and Scorpio energy, which is what we're in right now. But man, I could not grasp it if I tried. Maybe next time, which is cool. So I'll see you next time. Make sure like, share, subscribe, comment if you want. Personal reading information for that will hopefully be down below if I remember to put it there. Other than that, have a good one. Stay safe. And I'm gonna pick up these cards I dropped. I don't even see them though. Anyways, bye guys.